In the annals of history, amidst the misty shores and rugged landscapes of Scandinavia, emerged a legendary group of seafaring warriors whose indomitable spirit and formidable prowess in battle left an indelible mark on the tapestry of human civilization. These were the Viking warriors, a complex and enigmatic people whose exploits have captivated the imaginations of generations. The term Viking itself conjures images of fierce raiders and marauders, pillaging and plundering across the seas. Yet the reality of Viking society was far more nuanced and multifaceted than popular perception might suggest. To truly understand the Viking warriors, one must delve beneath the surface of their iconic horned helmets and explore the rich tapestry of their culture, beliefs, and achievements. And delving deeper into the societal fabric of the Vikings, we unearth a rich tapestry woven with threads of honor, courage, and kinship. These were not mere abstract concepts, but the very essence that bound Viking communities together, fostering a collective identity steeped in tradition and shared values. At the heart of Viking society lay a profound reverence for honor, a cherished virtue that permeated every aspect of daily life. To the Vikings, honor was not simply a matter of personal reputation, but a sacred trust to be upheld at all costs. It was the currency of respect, the foundation upon which relationships were built, and the guiding principle that governed their interactions with the world. Central to the Viking notion of honor was the concept of courage, the willingness to confront adversity and defy the odds in defense of one's beliefs and kin. For Viking warriors, courage was not measured by the absence of fear, but by the strength of one's resolve in the face of danger. It was the fire that burned within their hearts, driving them to face the unknown with unyielding determination and unwavering resolve. Yet, perhaps the most enduring aspect of Viking society was the bond of kinship, a deep-seated connection that transcended blood ties and extended to all members of the community. Within the tight-knit circles of Viking clans, loyalty was not just a virtue, but a sacred obligation, a solemn pledge to stand by one another through triumph and tribulation alike. From the moment they could walk, Viking boys were immersed in a culture steeped in tales of heroism and valor. They listened wide-eyed as elders regaled them with stories of legendary warriors who braved the wrath of gods and men in pursuit of glory and honor. These tales served not only to entertain, but to impart crucial lessons in bravery, resilience, and the importance of standing united in the face of adversity. As they matured, Viking boys underwent rigorous training in the art of warfare, honing their skills with sword and shield, axe and spear under the watchful eye of seasoned warriors. Yet, their education extended far beyond the battlefield, encompassing lessons in navigation, survival, and the customs and traditions that defined their way of life. But it was not only the men who bore the mantle of Viking honor. Women, too, played a vital role in upholding the fabric of Viking society, as mothers, wives, and shield maidens, who stood shoulder to shoulder with their male counterparts in times of strife. Their wisdom and counsel were sought in matters of governance and decision-making, their voices respected and valued in the councils of their clans. In the crucible of Viking society, honor, courage, and kinship were not abstract ideals, but living principles that shaped the destiny of individuals and communities alike. They were the guiding stars that illuminated the path of the Viking warrior, guiding him through the darkest of nights and the fiercest of battles. As we reflect on the legacy of the Viking warriors, let us not simply remember them as fearsome raiders and marauders, but as guardians of a way of life steeped in tradition, valor, and the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood. For in their stories, we find echoes of our own struggles and triumphs, a timeless reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit to rise above adversity and forge a legacy that will stand the test of time. Central to the Viking way of life was the concept of going a Viking, embarking on daring expeditions to distant lands in search of wealth, glory, and adventure. The iconic longships of the Vikings, with their sleek design and shallow draft, enabled them to navigate treacherous waters and strike swiftly at their enemies. These vessels were not only instruments of war, but symbols of Viking ingenuity and mastery of the seas. The exploits of Viking warriors reached far beyond the shores of their Scandinavian homelands. from the windswept coasts of Britain to the fertile plains of France and the distant shores of Constantinople. The Vikings left an indelible imprint on the history of Europe and beyond. Their raids, though often brutal and destructive, also laid the groundwork for trade networks and cultural exchange that would shape the course of history for centuries to come. Yet, the legacy of the Viking warriors extends far beyond their prowess in battle. In addition to their martial prowess, the Vikings were skilled craftsmen, traders, and explorers. They forged intricate works of art from precious metals, carved intricate runes into stone, and navigated uncharted waters in search of new lands and opportunities. One cannot speak of the Vikings without acknowledging their rich mythology and religious beliefs. The pantheon of Norse gods, led by Odin, Thor, and Loki, provided the backdrop for countless sagas and epic tales of heroism. To the Viking warriors, death in battle was not feared, but embraced as a pathway to eternal glory in the halls of Valhalla, where they would feast and fight alongside their fellow warriors until the end of time. As the centuries passed and the Viking Age drew to a close, the legacy of these formidable warriors endured. Though their raids may have ceased, their influence lived on in the languages, customs, and traditions of the lands they once conquered. Today, the spirit of the Viking warriors lives on in the hearts and minds of those who seek adventure, courage, and the thrill of discovery. In the grand tapestry of human history, the saga of the Viking warriors stands as a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, a tale of bravery, exploration, and the relentless pursuit of greatness in the face of adversity. As we gaze upon the windswept shores and rocky fjords of Scandinavia, let us remember the legacy of those who came before us. The indomitable Viking warriors who sailed into legend and carved their names into the annals of history.